Well, hello YouTube. Let's reuse this stuff here to create header for really simple calculator, and then we will proceed with actual operation of, let's say, addition. Extremely simple stuff. Don't worry, no complicated mathematical stuff here. So first let's beautify a little bit this what's the term, header. So welcome to simple calculator. Okay, and now let's save and push these things down there, because this is the place where we need to define those variables, those containers that will hold the actual numbers. So every time when you're doing something, that thing will be done between main and return. Okay, so you cannot have return here and then code down there. That's not how it works. Return must be the only thing before closing bracket, right? But for simplicity reasons, I'm just, expanding this stuff right here. So first, let's create, what's the term? The container for one number. So integer must be typed, because in C++ and lower languages, you must say what's the data type, whole number. Integer, first number equals 5, and following same logic, don't forget semicolon, this is C++. Second number equals 10. Now down there we must have a container that will hold actual results. So when you are creating it, you always must type data type. So integer, let's use the term result here, the name for variable for container. How we are going to get it? Well, we will just combine first number with second number, and don't forget semicolon. Now please note that when you're using variables down there after definition, you don't need to say what the data types are, because it's already done here. So you don't need to copy paste this couple of hundred times, like waste your time on typing. Just once, and that's enough. So normally, following same logic, here we have that result with integer, and then down there we can print it, boost it, double it, whatever you like. Okay, so let's create kind of header for actual results. Cout, and just a horizontal line, nothing special here, with end line at the end. And then we will have a little bit of text, like a result of addition. Is that correct term? Yeah, who cares? Addition. End line. And also let's grab this stuff down there, and in between we must type actual result. So how? Cout result, now without data type, because it's already defined here, and then end line again. And let me just fix this ugliness here, if it's even possible. I just like these things to be vertically aligned. And don't forget to return 0 at the end. And yep, so let's build and run this stuff, and there you go. You have normal header from last tutorial that we changed, your custom result header, and actual result. Right, so that's cool. Now let's intentionally create errors when you're typing, just to see what's gonna happen. So let's say here that I'm going to use the thing that doesn't exist yet. So now let's try to build and run this thing, and there you go. CodeBlock is smart enough to tell you exactly where there is a problem, okay, exact line, and then down there in explanations you have error, second number was not declared in this scope. Basically, we are using something inside of this function, see, between borders of those functions, that doesn't exist. So in the C++, we must first state what we have, and then we can use it. So obviously build failed with one error, okay, just one. And here we can also have warning. We have warning. Now it's not error like here, it's warning. We don't use variable second number, okay? So there is a difference between between warning and error. This is warning because we are not using something that do exist, and down there we are trying to use something that doesn't exist. So obviously error in typing. So let me fix that, and this thing will be gone not when you save this thing, but when you try to build and run it again. See, there you go. Now let me simplify this because I don't want to confuse you. So let's just I'm going to show you how to hard code stuff. Really simple stuff, nothing special here. So we are going to remove these variables like they don't exist. And let's actually remove this header. Maybe it's confusing. I don't know how you think about things. And let's fix this stuff a little better. Now we can also hard code stuff directly here, like first number will be fine, and I mean 5, and second number will be 10. So now result down there will be 15, but we are not using these stuff in variables. So let me check that. There you go, we have a result, but it's ugly. Now you'll probably think, well, that's fine for simple calculations, and that's cool, but just imagine that you have thousands of lines of code in your application. So it's complete mess. Do not hard code stuff inside of your program if you don't have to. Use variables, because once when you change things inside of variables, then those changes will propagate all over the place. Just imagine that you have multiple thousands of lines of code here. So change once, use everywhere. And when you hard code things, man, you need to go line by line, you need to go to search, find and replace, find next, find previous, and you will definitely create errors. So don't hard code stuff. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna shut up, and really simple tutorial, and in next one we're going to learn how to grab stuff from keyboard. Like when you run program, you need to type actual numbers into terminal, and then program will grab them and do something with them. Why? Because this is a beginning of developing more complicated calculator where you can use actual 4 basic operations or even more complicated like mathematical operations. But this is enough for this tutorial. Okay, thank you for watching. See you next one.